state of South Carolina is set to execute its first death row inmate in more than a decade. He was found guilty in the murder of this woman, Irene Graves. And for the first time tonight, we are seeing her face and hearing from her daughter. Miss Graves was killed in 1997 in Greenville County. She was 41 years old, a single mom with 3 kids, working 3 jobs. At the time of her death, her oldest son was away at college, but her 2 youngest were just 11 and 10 years old. And today, we sat down with that 10-year-old, who's now 37. Inslee Graves Lee is a speech pathologist in Rock Hill. She and her husband have 3 beautiful children, and she remains close with her brothers, Artie and Jeremy. They're now 45 and 38. Inslee shared these photos with us, emphasizing how close she and her brothers remain after that tragedy, how close they are today. As she says, they all understand the value of hard work, which their mother instilled in them. And she says, even after all these years, processing their grief is a difficult question to answer.
I think it is, I don't know how, I've been able to process it. I think I've kind of taken on we're gonna get it done as like basically my mantra, that after you do the hard thing, which was to make it to the funeral, or to make it to a custody battle, or to make it to a courthouse to meet, the person who's done this thing. I think you just approach it as you just gotta get it done. So I think throughout my life, I had just kind of approached all things that have been hard or easy as get it done. Just get it done. And I think that that has kind of sustained me. I don't know, as a 10-year-old processing that, there were no words for it. It was hard to just find words or to find actions to the things that I needed to get done, because I would lean on my mom. And not having her, I don't think I ever had, I guess, an opportunity to process. It was just get it done. Get to the next day, to the next moment, to the next year, and to the next thing. I guess if I had to say, how does it feel? I don't think I get the opportunity to live in the moment. I think since then, I've lived in the expectation that I gotta get it done.
Now we asked Inslee more about her mom, Irene. Again, she was 41 at the time of her death and was working overnight at her 3rd job. She was a clerk at the old Speedway on Lawrence Road in Greenville. 10-year-old Inslee and her 11-year-old brother were at home asleep. Inslee says even when she woke up, she knew something wasn't right. And we asked her, what's the one thing she wants everyone to know about her mom?
She loved her kids more than anything in this world. And she never in a million years intended to leave them behind. And even in the unknown of what was going to happen to her, she made sure that she left in her children the plans she had for them. And she left with her children the strength to do it. And we are just fine. She did well.
Right now, here at 10 o'clock, the news alert for you. A death row inmate convicted in an upstate murder will be put to death next month. It will be South Carolina's first execution in 13 years.
Officials say Freddie Owens will be executed on September 20th. I'm going to take you back through this case now. It was in 1997. Owens killed Irene Graves, who worked as a convenience store clerk in Greenville County. In 1999, a jury found him guilty of murder. But that wouldn't be the final case Owens is charged in. During a 24-hour holding period after that guilty verdict, officials say Owens killed Christopher Brian Lee, who was jailed at the Greenville County Detention Center on a minor traffic charge. Now, the decision to move forward with Owens' execution comes after the state Supreme Court determined lethal injection, firing squad, and electric chair were all legal last month. Owens will have a choice between those 3 options. The prison's director must confirm within 5 days that all 3 methods are available. Now, the prison director must also show Owens' lawyer that lethal injection drugs are stable and properly mixed, a rule based on the court's interpretation of the SHIELD law. This protects the identity of pharmaceutical companies providing lethal injection drugs used in those executions. If Owens fails to pick a method, the state will opt for the electric chair by default.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee Michelle. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and the share button. Also drop your thoughts in the comment box and let me know what you think about the story here. So I have the story coming out of South Carolina, which is the state where I'm from. It's actually coming out of my city. We're preparing for our first execution in 13 years. Wow, I used to be against people being executed by the state, but some of y'all motherfuckers need to be executed. For real, for real. Over time, I have changed my opinion on it because some of y'all are just demons, some people are just demons and probably gonna need to be executed, don't need to be here, because some people just not gonna change. What's in them is in them. So anywho, this story says South Carolina is set to execute its first inmate in 13 years. South Carolina is set to execute its first inmate in 13 years after an unintended pause because the state could not obtain the drugs needed for the lethal injection. Freddie Eugene Owens, 46, is scheduled to die just after 6 p.m. Friday at the Columbia prison. After an unintended pause because the state could not obtain the drugs needed for lethal injection. Dang. So it says 97 killing of a clerk who could not, who could not get the safe open at a convenience store in Greenville. Owens' last ditch appeals have been repeatedly denied. In concluding by a federal court Friday morning, his last chance to avoid the death is for a Republican South Carolina governor, Henry McMaster, to commute his sentence to life. Nigga, please, you dead. You think McMaster is gonna let you ride? No, hunty. You done. McMaster said he will follow historical traditions and announce decisions minutes before the lethal injections, begins when the prison officials call him and the state attorney general to make sure there is no reason to delay the execution. The former prosecutor promised to review Owens' clemency petition, but has said he tends to trust prosecutors and jurors. Owens may be the first of several inmates to die in the state's death chambers at Broad River Correctional Institution. 5 other inmates are out of appeal, and the South Carolina Supreme Court has cleared the way to hold the execution every 5 weeks. South Carolina first tried to add the firing squad to restart executions after its supplies to lethal injection drugs expired and no company was willing to publicly sell them more. But the state had passed a shield law keeping the drug supplier and much of the protocol for execution secrets to be able to reopen the death chambers. To carry out the execution, the state switches from a 3-drug method to a new protocol of using just a sedative. The new process is similar to how the federal government kills inmates, according to the state prisoner office officials. South Carolina law allows inmates to choose lethal injections, the new firing squad, or the electric chair built in 1912. Damn, they get to choose what they want. So they give you a piece of paper and ask you, which one do you want? How you want to die, nigga? How you want to die? Oh my God, that's crazy. If he did what they say he did, bye, nigga. Anyway, Owens allowed his lawyer to choose how he would die. I know that's right. Saying he felt he made the choice he would be a party of his own death and his religious belief denounced his suicide. No, you did this to yourself, hunty. Owens changed his name to Khalil Divine Black Son Allah while in prison, but the court and prison's record continued to refer to him as Owens. Owens was convicted of killing Irene Graves in 1999. Prosecutors said he fired a shot into her head of a single mother of three who worked at 3 jobs when she said she couldn't open the store safe. But before he was sentenced in Graves killings, Owens fatally attacked a following jail inmate, Christopher Lee. Owens gave a detailed confession of how he stabbed Lee, choked him, stumped him, ending by saying he did it because I was wrongly convicted of murder. Nigga, please, you a killer. You gonna kill this man for no reason just because you felt like they wronged you? No, Hunty, no. So that's why they probably really they probably would have gave you life for the black woman. You know what I'm saying? They probably would have gave you life for the black woman or whatever. But then you turn around and you went and killed that clear man. Okay? So now you finna die, nigga. They gonna kill you tonight. This South Carolina. Come on. The confession was read to each jury and judge who went on to sentence Owens to death. See? Owens had 2 different death sentences overturned on appeal, only to end up back on death row. Owens was charged with murder in Lee's death, but was never tried. Prosecutors dropped the charges with the right to restore them in 2019. Around that time, Owens ran out of regular appeals. In his final appeal, Owens' lawyer said the prosecutors never presented specific evidence that Owens pulled the trigger when Graves was killed, and the chief evidence against him was a co-defendant who pleaded guilty and testified that Owens was the killer. Owens' attorney provided a sworn statement 2 days before the execution from Steve Golden, saying Owens was not in the store, contradicting his trial's testimony. Prosecutors said other friends of Owens and his former girlfriend testified he bragged about killing the clerk. He did it. What the lawyer is saying. South Carolina is on the verge of executing a man for a crime he did not commit. We will continue to advocate for Mr. Owens. Owens' lawyer also said he was just 19 when the killing happened, and that he had suffered brain damage from physical and sexual violence while he was a juvenile. South Carolinians, for alternative to the death penalty, plans a vigil outside of the prison about 90 minutes before Owens' scheduled death. South Carolina's last execution was in May of 2011. South Carolina has put 43 inmates to death since the death penalty was restarted in the U.S. in 1976. In the early 2000s, it was carried out as an average of 3 executions a year. Only 9 states have put more inmates to death. But since the unintentional expectations paused, South Carolina's death row population has dwindled. Well, that's good. The state has 63 condemned inmates in early 2011. It had 32 when Friday started. About 20 inmates have been taken off death rows and received different prison sentences after successful appeals. Others have died of natural causes. They about to get you, bruh. Yeah, for real, for real. Well, they about to execute Mr. Owens tonight. That had to be real sad, you know. Freddie Eugene Owens, you're gonna be I think you're gonna get the lethal injection tonight, and this is in 13 years in South Carolina, you know. I don't remember the story about when this happened in 1997. I don't remember. You know, I was young. I was probably around his age, a little bit younger, you know. It is what it is. I'm not against the death penalty. Some of y'all need to die, but not the innocent ones, you know. Even if he didn't kill the clerk, but he did kill that other man for no reason. So either way it go, his death may be justifiable. But I'm gonna put some other videos in here about what her daughter said. Yeah. I just wanted to bring this to y'all. I know y'all covering the Diddy cases and all. Yeah. But yeah, this was going on here today in South Carolina. But y'all have a great day. Stay blessed, stay prayed up, you know. Gather all your things that you need, you know, there's supplies, keep your house stocked up because we don't know what's going on in this world. We don't know what they're gonna drop on us next. Okay? So I just want to bring this story to you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and that share button. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.